I went blind on purpose, but I don't feel it was a choice.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh boy, here we go, everyone. Grab your popcorn, grab a nice warm cup of tea cocoa, maybe. Sit back, relax, because I'm back with another absolute banger of a f***ing video. See, here's the thing, okay? I've been getting a little fed up lately, alright? I've been getting a little flustered, if you will, okay? I got some work to do, okay? I've been working a lot, and I've just been a little stressed lately. So, my first thought was, oh, Colin, you need to let off some steam. You need to rant about something. So, the first thing I did was hopped onto my computer, and what do I see? Oh, but a video by Truly. And the title is, I Made Myself Blind. And that's where I realized that this has finally crossed the line.
For most people, going blind would be a nightmare. But for Jewel Chouping, it was the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. She suffers from a rare condition called body integrity identity disorder, which led her to deliberately take her own sight.
When there's nobody around you that feels the same way, you start to think that you're just very crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. I think I have a disorder.
Okay, let me just throw this out here, okay? Let me just put this disclaimer out here. I'm not attacking anyone's disorders or anything like that. That's not what I'm doing here. What I am doing is looking at a steaming pile of pure horse shit that I can just sink my teeth into, okay? Not literally. But let's just break this shit down for a second, okay? So this woman, alright, this lady right here had a lifelong dream to go blind. Listen to what I just said, okay? Let me play that shit back.
So this woman, alright, this lady right here had a lifelong dream to go blind.
A f***ing lifelong dream to go blind? I'm sorry, what the hell is wrong with people? Who in their right mind would want to go blind? To me, being blind is such a scary thought. For any blind people out there, I seriously give you props because living without sight must not only be a really scary experience, but something that is really, really difficult to adjust to. Why would someone want to go blind? It's not even the fact that she went blind because of a disease or anything. She chose this. She did it to herself, legitimately.
BIID means that you have a need to be disabled in some way. In my case, it was a need to go blind.
9 years ago, Jewel took the drastic decision to blind herself, and she researched the methods she would use.
I found that lye is very painful, although it does get the job done. I found that drain cleaner is a little less painful, although it does a lot of damage to the eye. Because drain cleaner was easily available to me, I went with that.
Again, like I said here, I'm not attacking anyone's disorders here or anything like that, but when it comes to something like this is clearly not something that is common, at all. You definitely aren't thinking properly if you wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I want to make myself go blind today. There's a line between disorder and what the f***, okay? Now, she's a good case of what I like to call what the f***. What the hell is wrong with you for that? I'm sorry, believe me, I am such a strong supporter of mental health awareness and speaking about your problem. Personally, I myself am on prescription medication for anxiety and depression, okay? There's nothing wrong with having mental illness or disorders, alright? But this is crossing the line.
She found a psychologist willing to help her, and after 2 weeks of working together to make sure she was ready, they carried out Jewel's plan.
I laid down on the sofa and he sat next to me. Dropped 2 drops into each eye.
Hang on a second. What? So you're telling me a f***ing licensed psychologist who she was going to see helped her become blind? Wait, wait, what? What? See, I found a comment that I think proves my point a little better. Let this soak in. A doctor who is supposed to help prevent insanity and self-harm promoted insanity and self-harm. I couldn't have said that any better, dog. What the f*** are you doing? As a licensed psychologist, someone who is heavily trained and educated on mental illness decides that he's going to help a patient harm herself to the point where she goes blind. And someone needs to take this person's license away.
My eyes were screaming. I had some drain cleaner going down my cheek, burning my skin. In the moment, all I could think of was, I'm going blind, it's gonna be okay.
No, it's not gonna be okay. What the hell is your problem, lady? Okay, now this is where I'm actually becoming pissed off. Okay, this is where I'm genuinely losing my temper. I got to reading some of the comments and now this shit is starting to disgust me. She literally took away her own sight, something people would die to have. Imagine being so privileged to get to choose your disabilities. Nice. The fact that a psychologist enabled someone who is clearly experiencing distorted thinking to act on their extreme self-destructive urges is disgusting. I could sit here and go on and on and on. There are people born with disabilities who would die to have the life you had before you made yourself go blind. The fact that people are actually supporting someone in a decision like this is disgusting.
After waiting half an hour to make sure the damage was done, the psychologist took Jewel to hospital, where doctors fought to save her sight.
When I woke up the following day, I was joyful until I turned on my back, opened my eyes, and could see the TV screen. I was so enraged, and I thought that it hadn't worked. Then over about 6 months, the sight in both eyes slowly went away. I was so happy. I felt that this was who I was supposed to be.
Like, this lady who's speaking talks about how doctors literally fought to save her eyesight.
Where doctors fought to save her sight.
I'm like the stupid fucking doctor. I don't even want to fucking call him a doctor after helping someone with this dumb shit like this. Like, actual doctors are over here fighting to save this woman's eyesight. Like, what do the doctors even say to the psychologist? Like, I'm pretty sure somewhere along the lines, you know, someone said, is this illegal? Like, why didn't they arrest the psychologist on the spot once they found out that they put drain cleaner in this lady's eyes? I'm confused right now.
While Jewel was happy, her actions cost her her relationship with her family. But this was something she'd been building up to throughout her life.
I first developed the idea that I need to be blind when I was around 6 years old. I was told by my mother that if I looked into the sun, I'd go blind, and so I stared into the sun for hours on end. Thinking about being blind made me feel comfortable. I was blind simming, which is pretending to be blind. Becoming blind was definitely a difficult decision to make. I tried to avoid it, but it kept coming up in my head. And by the time I was 21, it was a non-stop alarm that was going off.
As extreme as Jewel's case sounds, she is not alone. Dr. Michael First is a leading expert on the condition. He even coined the term BIID to describe it.
Leading expert? Leading expert? There's no experts in this bullshit. That's not a fucking... There's no leading experts. This is some grade A pure bullshit. If I've ever seen any, that's for sure. How can people be okay with this? How is this doctor not imprisoned right now, okay? How is he not in prison? Does he make any other people disabled?
A lot of people who have this just live with it, but they don't take that step of actually actualizing it. But a significant minority of people with this have the feeling so strongly that they will go and do something to make it happen. Our job is to reduce suffering however it's possible. The question is, what can be done? People have tried therapy, they've tried medication. None of those have really been successful. The ethics of whether it is okay to take a normal person and make them disabled is, I think you could make it an ethical case that if you conceptualize this as treating a condition, then it's okay to do it. The big fear, of course, is somebody goes ahead and gets an amputation or becomes disabled and then changes their mind. I'd like to encourage people to do what makes sense to make them feel better, but this is such a drastic move that it's hard to encourage.
Thank you! Okay, see, I get what he's saying to a point, alright? Like, the job of a psychologist is to reduce the suffering of people mentally as much as possible. You know, that I understand. But if you're suffering because you want to be disabled, then you're really not suffering. There's plenty of medications and therapy sessions that I'm sure can easily make a person change their mind. Thank you! Like, clearly this woman isn't thinking clearly if she wants this to happen. This isn't a game or anything. This is someone's well-being on the line. And once you make that decision, there's no going back from it. People are really, really dumb.
Initially apprehensive, Jewel has now told her friends in the blind community about how she took her own sight.
I told her that I didn't care, that I think there's no resentment for her voluntarily taking her eyesight. That's not who I am.
I just don't think I've ever known anyone who had that condition. I think there's a lot understood in the medical community, but I'm sure that by what happened to you, it will be helpful to somebody else.
Hey Joel, how's it going?
Oh, hi, Alan. Does this affect our friendship at all?
No, actually, I want to thank you for sharing it with me. I think it's a really inspiring story, actually, because you've overcome a lot here.
A f***ing inspiration? An inspiration? Oh my... what the f*** do you think you're talking about, okay? What the actual f*** are you saying calling this woman an inspiration? This woman is not an inspiration. This woman is nothing more than someone who isn't thinking clearly who made a drastic life-altering decision that she feels she's okay with. Obviously, this woman doesn't have the proper thought process to think and act for herself, and there's a lot of options for people who need help. By doing what she did, she changed her life forever and will always and forever live with this, never to see the beauty in the world again. Why?
Now, Jewel hopes her story will help other people in her position and lead to a wider understanding of BIID.
These days, I have no regrets. I'm very happy as a blind person. If somebody's out there with the same feelings as I have, I would say don't go blind the way I did. I know there's a need, but perhaps someday there'll be treatment for it. And just wait for that treatment if you can. If you feel that you have to, at least talk to a psychiatrist. Try to get somebody who knows what they're doing to help you. Don't do it for yourself because it's dangerous. That's why I'm getting my story out there, to help people understand BIID and what it is and what is not.
Okay, I will say this. I think she has the right idea by telling people not to do what she did. That's a good start. But regardless, if this woman is happy, then I guess that's all that matters. I mean, happiness is so important in all of our lives. Maybe I was just being too hard on this woman. I don't know. Okay, this is a really difficult, unethical situation, and I don't know what to say. Okay, like most of the time, I'm always out here with shit to say, but this time I'm at a loss. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, whether this is unethical or not. Also, if you're new to the channel, be like Shia LaBeouf over here and just subscribe. You know, it's free. You can always change your mind. And if you like the content around here, don't forget to tap that notification bell as well. I upload a new video every Friday, so thank you guys for watching. Bye.